Hi, everyone. Welcome to Urm Sunday School. If you've been following us for the last several segments, you'll know that we've been doing a study in the book of Psalms. We have completed the first 73 Psalms. So today we shall begin in Psalm 74. Please turn there if you're following along. All right. Psalm 74. A plea for relief from oppressors. A contemplation of Asaph. O God, why have you cast us off forever? Why does your anger smoke against the sheep of your pasture? Remember your congregation, which you have purchased of old, the tribe of your inheritance, which you have redeemed. This Mount Zion, where you have dwelt. So right now, this Asaph is writing this psalm at a time of oppression from an outside enemy. And he's just saying, "Oh God, why have you abandoned us? Remember your congregation which you have purchased of old." Well, here's the thing. Whenever an enemy has its way with Israel, it's usually because Israel had fallen into rebellion against God. And therefore, he removed their protection. I mean, read Deuteronomy. God says, "You do these things I tell you to do, I'll bless you. If you don't do these things I tell you to do, I'll curse you." Doesn't get much clearer than that. So apparently Asaph is really unaware of what Israel has done to warrant such an attack. Could he be in denial? Maybe. Could he simply be unaware of what they could have done that was so bad? Maybe. Who knows? But, you read through the Old Testament and you'll understand God would protect them if Israel would fall in line with his law. If they didn't fall in line with his law, he wouldn't. All right. Verse 3. Lift up your feet to the perpetual desolations. The enemy has damaged everything in the sanctuary. So, lift up your feet. That's a call to God to just get up and walk. Go and see what the enemy has done. And notice what it says. The enemy has damaged everything in the sanctuary. Continuing. Your enemies roar in the midst of your meeting place. They set up their banners for signs. They seem like men who lift up axes among the thick trees. And now they break down its carved work once and for all with axes and hammers. They have set fire to your sanctuary. They have defiled the dwelling place of your name to the ground. Sounds like Asaph is referring to the temple. And as we all know, the first temple of Israel was leveled by the Babylonian army. Perhaps this is what Asaph is referring to. Perhaps this is the time period of when this psalm was written. Okay. Verse 8. They said in their hearts, "Let us destroy them altogether. They have burned up all the meeting places of God in the land." Well, all the meeting places? Well, that would certainly include the temple, wouldn't it? All right. Verse 9. We do not see our signs. There is no longer any prophet, nor is there any among us who knows how long. There is no longer any prophet, nor is there any among us who knows how long. God did send prophets warning Israel about what would happen if they didn't turn from their wicked ways. They didn't listen. They didn't want to hear what the prophet had to say. In fact, they killed the prophets. They killed prophets because they didn't like what they had to say. Instead, false prophets walked the area telling everybody all is well. You need not worry about anything. Well, what answers are those false prophets going to have now? Yeah. That's what I think this is referring to. Verse 10. O God, how long will the adversary reproach? Will the enemy blaspheme your name forever? Why do you withdraw your hand, even your right hand? Take it out of your bosom and destroy them. Now, the right hand of God, that's the right hand of that's the hand of blessing, the hand of protection. That's what he's referring to. And he says, take it out of your bosom and destroy them. Wow. The nerve of this guy telling God what to do. Well, there's nothing new on the sun. Plenty of us tell God what to do. Maybe not using such harsh terms, but quite often when we pray, we say, God, do this. God, do that. God, God, this is what I want done now. Make it happen. No, 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 no. Those aren't prayers of a submissive person. Those aren't the prayers of a son praying to his father or her father. No. That's what he wants to hear. And Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Yeah. Seek his will. He'll take care of the rest. He'll take care of your needs. You need not worry about those things. All right. 12. For God is my king from of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. You divided the sea by your strength. You broke the heads of the sea serpents in the waters. You broke the heads of Leviathan in pieces and gave him as food to the people inhabiting the wilderness. Leviathan. What is Leviathan? Well, Leviathan, in mythology, is a huge sea creature. And according to this passage, it's a sea creature with many heads. It says, you broke the heads of Leviathan. And this isn't the only place where Leviathan is mentioned. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1. In that day, the day of the Lord, in that day the Lord with his severe sword, great and strong, will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent. Leviathan, that twisted serpent, and he will slay that reptile that is in the sea. And he will slay the reptile that is in the sea. You go to the book of Revelation, it talks about a beast coming out of the sea. This could be a prophetic proclamation, a prophetic declaration of what is to come. And what John saw in the book of Revelation is the fulfilling of that prophecy. He saw the beast coming out of the sea. And you read about a beast, a dragon, with several heads. Now, and when you consider the time period, how much time passes between when this psalm was written and when Isaiah was written and when Revelation is written, it's just astounding how everything just ties together. You know, that's a fascinating thing about the Bible. You know, it took approximately 1,600 years to write and compile. 1,600 years. From when Moses started writing it to when John wrote the final book of Revelation. And it all reads as one book. Despite all the time that passed in between, even though it was written by 40 different writers on 3 continents, it all reads as one book. That tells you that ultimately there is one author of the Bible. 40 writers, but only one author. The Spirit of God. All right. "15. You broke open the fountain and the flood. You dried up many rivers. The day is yours, the night also is yours. You have prepared the light and the sun. You have set all the borders of the earth. You have made summer and winter." Okay. So here, Asaph is reminding God of everything he's done. Reminding God of all he is capable of doing. Saying, you've done all this. You can crush the enemy. So do it. Again, tread carefully on telling God what to do. All right. 18. "Remember this, that the enemy has reproached, O Lord, and that a foolish people has blasphemed your name. Oh, do not deliver the life of your turtle dove to the wild beast. Do not forget the life of your poor people." So, not only is he reminding God of what he's capable of doing, but he's also saying, this enemy has blasphemed your name. You know, we are your dove, your turtle dove. Do not turn what is precious to you over to the wild beast. Yep. 20. "Have respect to the covenant, the Abrahamic covenant. For the dark places of the earth are full of the haunts of cruelty. Oh, do not let the oppressed return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise your name. Arise, O God, plead your own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproaches you daily. Do not forget the voice of your enemies. The tumult of those who rise up against you increases continually." We now turn to Psalm 75. Thanksgiving for God's righteous judgment. To the chief musician set to "Do Not Destroy." A psalm of Asaph. A song. So, Psalm 75, also written by Asaph. And it's widely considered that Psalm 75 provides the answers to the questions that were espoused in Psalm 74. So, let's read. Asaph writes, "We give thanks to you, O God, we give thanks, for your wondrous works declare that your name is near." Quote. Now this is most likely God talking. "When I, God, choose the proper time, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all its inhabitants are dissolved. I set up its pillars firmly." Oh, when I choose the proper time. Asaph asked in Psalm 74, why isn't this enemy being dealt with now? God is simply saying it's not the proper time. And that's not for us to question. Verse 4. I said to the boastful, do not deal boastfully, and to the wicked, do not lift up the horn. Do not lift up your horn on high. Do not speak with a stiff neck. All right. End quote. Verse 6. For exaltation neither comes from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is fully mixed, and he pours it out. Surely its dregs shall all the wicked of the earth drain and drink down. In the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is fully mixed, and he pours it out. What is his cup? It's a cup of wrath. Jesus talked about drinking from a cup. Or in the Garden of Gethsemane, let this cup pass me, because he knew what it was filled with, God's wrath. He drunk the cup of God's wrath that was destined for us, but he chose to take it upon himself. He took God's wrath upon himself. Wrath that we deserved. But he took it. And if we don't believe in that, if we don't cry out to God in repentance and receive that precious gift from him, then in the end we will have to bear the wrath ourselves. Please understand that. Yeah. Verse 9. But I will declare forever. I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked. Now, wait. Verse 10, quote. This is God talking again. All the horns of the wicked I will also cut off. But the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Oh, look at this. All the horns of the wicked I will also cut off. The book of Daniel talks about a beast with, 7 heads and 10 horns. 10 horns representing 10 kings, I believe. Yeah. So again, this could be a prophetic declaration of what will happen in the end times. Because there is a beast of horns, a beast with horns that will appear in the end times. Not literally, of course, but you know what I'm getting at. Yeah. All right. Psalm 76. The majesty of God in judgment. To the chief musician on stringed instruments, a song of Asaph. A psalm of Asaph, a song. In Judah, God is known. His name is great in Israel. In Salem also is his tabernacle, and his dwelling place in Zion. Salem, by the way, is a shortened version of the name Jerusalem. Okay, just so you know. Jerusalem is his tabernacle. There he broke the arrows of the bow, the shield and sword of battle. You are more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. The stout-hearted were plundered. They have sunk into their sleep, and none of the mighty men have found the use of their hands. At your rebuke, O God of Jacob, both the chariot and horse were cast into a dead sleep. This no doubt refers to the defeat of Pharaoh's army when horses and chariots were covered by the Red Sea. A dead sleep. Verse 7. You, God, yourself are to be feared. And who may stand in your presence when once you are angry? Oh, did you catch that? God can be angry. Sin always angers him, especially when committed by people who know it's wrong, who know it's sin, who know it's evil, yet they do it anyway. You caused judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth feared and was still. When God arose to judgment to deliver all the oppressed of the earth, surely the wrath of man shall praise you. With the remainder of wrath you shall gird yourself. Yeah, even the wrath of man will praise you. Now, the wrath of man is utterly futile against the wrath of God. Whatever kind of wrath man thinks he can bring, God's wrath will dwarf it. So I guess the wrath of man will have to give praise out of simple respect of what God can do when it comes to wrath. Yeah. At least that's my take on it. It could mean something else. But anyway, verse 11. Make vows to the Lord your God and pay them. Let all who are around him bring presents to him who ought to be feared. Make vows to the Lord your God and pay them. Now, I should point out something. Under the law, nobody was required to make a vow to God. That was entirely a free will choice. I mean, I suppose the kind of vows that Asaph is talking about is just simply, vows of service, worship, things that God truly deserves. Don't just do it when you feel like it. Do it. Even when you don't feel like doing it. Yeah. But anyway. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is awesome to the kings of the earth. Yeah. If you're a king, the ruler of a kingdom, everybody in your kingdom is beneath you. It takes something spectacular to bring a king into awe, to look upon him in awesome wonder. God is such a person. God is such a being that can make kings, all the kings of the earth, look up in awe. All right. Psalm 77. The consoling memory of God's redemptive works. To the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm of Asaph. I cried out to God with my voice, and he gave ear to me. Oh, yeah, see, God is listening. In the day of trouble I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night without ceasing. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. You hold my eyelids opened. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. Obviously, so troubled he was, it resulted in sleepless nights. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I meditate within my heart, and my spirit makes diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever, and will he be favorable no more? It's the same things Asaph was writing about in Psalm 74. Has his mercy ceased forever? Has his promise failed forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? These are some tough times to be saying these things. And I said, this is my anguish, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds. Your way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God? So, even despite all these troubles, even though these thoughts of doubt are flooding his mind, has he cast me off? Is he no longer with mercy? Has he forgotten to be gracious? He, Asaph, will remember what he's already seen God do. The works, the great works, and the great kindness and graciousness that God has shown in the past. He will remember those and cease to doubt God. Verse 14, you are the God who does wonders. You have declared your strength among the peoples. You have with your arm redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. The waters saw you, O God. The waters saw you, they were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The skies sent a sound. Your arrows also flashed about. Oh, listen to this. The waters saw you and afraid. The clouds poured out water. It's sort of similar to Jesus saying how the rocks would cry out in praise to God if nobody would. Nature responds to God. 18. The voice of your thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea. Your path in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Now again, thinking back to the parting of the Red Sea, remembering what God is capable of doing and the great mercies he is capable of having. All right, well, that concludes our session for today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Until then.